Hey guys, this is Slenderelli from Deem Creepy Guinness, and welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. I'm here for part 2. Sam is not here for this as of now. I mean, you guys couldn't even hear him anyway. But we're just gonna get on with the game. We didn't get too far in, but with him there, it just took forever to do this. No offense, Samuel, but just am I sure? No, wait, what? What was I doing? Uh, getting back to the game. And here we are. We are making a decision for our friends that have no minds of their own. Trinity Corp Dragon Company, because that is my year. Year of the freaking dragon, baby. Libra. Woo! Just like freaking Homestuck. Pat yourself on the back if you know what I'm talking about. I like. Oh my gosh, she sounds like Rainbow Dash. She's like Rainbow Dash and she's like Fluttershy. Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy. I love them both. I'm sorry I made a My Little Pony reference. As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled on my thoughts. Well, who's that? Lizette. Who's that? Lisette. I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. As a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she had also had ready to casually chat along about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and, above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and, as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub out a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew that what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her. Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door. I wish I was as fast as her. Me too. Me and you both, Naomi. Naomi. Mm, 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 mm. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep picking you and you both. Nah, I want to get out of there. Naomi folded her arms close to her chest, giving me a disappointed look. Oh, don't give me that shit. I don't care. I have my opinion. Well, maybe that's a good life. I don't know. It's a joke, Naomi. I do have to admit, I was spacing out. Just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically a valedictorian. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them would never ever associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. This is so much like freaking My Little Pony plot right here. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool. You do like spicy food after all. Not me. Like, I've seen you drink freaking from a hot sauce bottle before and drink it all in 30 seconds. She is a spicy girl. Yep. Cafeteria! We entered the cafeteria. Oh gosh, no, I don't like the cafeteria. I just remembered my school's lunch is horrifying. So many additives that it's not even real food anymore. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely. In Japan, their cafeteria's food is delicious. In America, it's shit. Suzu. I think I'll go with, something with real meat? Cajun fries. Just, hell yes, mac and cheese. But, I wish I could have a chance to get milk. But I guess the soda's fine. I don't drink it too often. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back into her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food. What if she just freaking fell? I'd take a video of that. Vine. Okay. The company project, maybe? Yes. Interruption! Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh, I knew she like had that accent. She was like, "Oi!" I thought that, oh, she's an Italian. No wonder. That explains a lot. Boop. I wish she had a squeaky Freddy nose. Like that's gonna, okay. Wait, she's blonde? Personally, she does not look blonde. It looks like she has orange hair, and you look like you're a dirty blonde. Somehow you two remind me of my friends in real life. Cause, yeah, looks about the same, kinda. I mean, like, not the looks, but just the base. I don't know. Never mind, never mind. Ha! Sorry. Yeah, I can if I want, but I won't. They're talking about Ronnie like she's not even there. That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure if I want a boyfriend yet. So why would I want one? Just get in the way of what I want to do in college anyway. Suzu. I like her name. I don't know. I just like her name. And Naomi. Naomi. Well, it wasn't. It really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interested enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong. I'm an open person, but there weren't many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanted to continue the conversation, however, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria. Woo! I get to go home early, bitches! Ha! Every kid ever in school, when they get to go home early, they so happy and sad. Like hallelujah, hallelujah, ba, ba, no. Oh happy day. Sorry. I'm sorry you had to hear my horrible singing. Oh my. Really? That that is not a normal response. I'm sorry. Just like the song, they're coming to take me away, haha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, haha. To the funny farm where everything's happy all the time. I'm sorry. Oh no, they didn't find the body, did they? No, nothing, nothing. Them creepy gamers have nothing to hide. Just nothing. Yeah, yeah. I'll keep in touch. I'll only get one phone call though. Funny enough, something did happen. It was certainly no laughing matter. Damn. Cold. It was really cold. A shower? The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up, in fact. Looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only a monotone analogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Harold Anderson, forever in our hearts. A small gathering of people mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing up, holding a large black umbrella for a small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who had raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why. What? Did I just get a free house? I got a free house! Ah! Great! I just got a free house. Happy day, oh happy day. Sorry. I couldn't believe my ears. I just to earn the family estate at 18. That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. uh, Dad looks so weird. His pointy ears. He's like part wolf. He's Wolfman. Wolverine in disguise. Dear, dear Miss Anderson, why was it not you that got the estate? Anyway. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face. Uh, I wasn't really sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own? Father seems kind of uh, rude. And he looks like the way his mouth is makes him look like he's yawning. David. Uh, oh gosh, he just slid out of there. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa. She sounds like Bonnie from Family Guy. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of references here. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family in the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the furthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa! I like his voice actor. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather. The way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It has always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was always busy with work or wasn't feeling well. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go? Would I? He reminds me, like, he has a deeper voice than this other person does. Like, he reminds me of Crocker from Fairy Godparents, except that his voice is deeper and like a calmer kind of state instead of like jagged and high. Yes. Ooh, is it a toy? Is it a toy? I want to see the toy. Can I get the prototype, please? Oh, that'd be cool if you like if your father or relative was the toy maker and you got all the prototypes before, like you got a free toy before it even came out on the shelf. Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile. I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though. I think the heart on his chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. And it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, concerning my input while nodding his head. After a few minutes of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa. I thought like this entire time. I think like I hope you guys are able to hear the voice actors because the other characters are reading are reading their own lines. If they're not, if you can't hear it, I'm sorry. Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up though. That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way though. I'm not so sure about that. He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him, but I don't know why he's like this though. I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter. But it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong. How can you be so sure of that? He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest. For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading almost. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up. Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen! You willed me the very home I loved to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see. Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moaning at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea. Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was time to talk. Dad, can I ask you something? I don't like his voice. He's just so brutal sounding. Uh, why do you want me to move into the estate so soon? He is the worst. The worst dad. I have a strong feeling of disliking for this character. No. But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral. I guess that's how businessmen are, like, it's just so angry. You're a fucking Deku boy. Little pointy elf ears. I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly. But what if... But what if I don't want to work there? He came closer to me, and his face softened. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away? Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better. It's not like... It's like nothing even happened at all. Like, you just ignore the fact that he's no longer here. What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father's face hardened, crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter. I'm a bad impressionist. Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Oh my gosh! I don't know if you guys heard that, but he just fucking slapped her. He just fucking slapped her. A fucking abusive father. That's why this story is a 16 and up. Watch at your own risk. Oh my gosh. I I cannot. Okay, a flash of rage crossed his face, and when he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek. I'm sorry, he's just so mad. I'm just gonna say this right now. It seems like in this entire thing that it's been hinting at that the grandfather, like, it was hinted that he had intended to rape or did attempt to rape Mr. Anderson. I don't know, it just seems like that if you're reading between the lines. You better not slap the wife. Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs. She stomped up the stairs. I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants. And for a while, I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them away rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that. I'm fine. I just lost my appetite. Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to eat right now. I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past. Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found two large bags. Pulling them out onto the floor of my room, I then began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all of my things with me. I didn't have much to bring, other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. I am loving this song. Please don't copyright me. I like that song though. Just as I was packing my things, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I'm sorry if you guys could not hear that song, but it was great. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling? By the way, um, you can get this game for free on Steam, and I would really suggest it. It's going really great. I mean, if you don't like this kind of story kind of thing, or if you can't handle this kind of stuff, because I could just tell right now it's gonna get lot darker later on and stuff, and more adult. But I don't know, I like it. Oh, cool. I like the little. Okay, it's like I'm actually talking on the phone. Naomi, I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper. Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened. To my relief, Naomi finally spoke up. No, no, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so could we just keep talking on the phone like this? Yeah. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I'd forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. I swear that sounds familiar. We all agree that the actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty. Though I do have to say I prefer Jatson. And as a bonus, his character is just so sassy. I don't say that word much. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m.? Sorry, I'm sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school. Dude, you stayed up till 1 a.m. on a school night? Actually, I'm not innocent. I've done that. Cause I'm an insomniac. Summonac. I speak good. My language good. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. Everything's worthy to talk to your friends, obviously. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. A nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad I could finally be in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably would make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. Jeff, don't sneak up on me while I'm trying to slumber. Pat yourself on the back if you know what I'm talking about. I reached out to the lamp on my nightstand to turn off the lights. However, my mind was just so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. Mm. Shook my head to try to clear the sleepiness out of my to no avail. I really didn't get any sleep last night. It was already time to wake. It's already time to wake up. Wait, school. As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slid out of bed and looked out the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You had to squint to actually see it. I doubted anyone would actually notice it unless they leaned in really close. Breathing out a sigh, I got dressed, took my backpack, and caught the bus to go to school. It wasn't even hours before that it's time to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm glad if you actually stuck through with this. And I hope to see you guys in the next part of this, and to enjoy the rest of the series. It's really gonna get dark. I can already see that. Goodbye.